At Global Partners, we believe there's a right way and a wrong way to do training. The right way involves principles that help participants retain what they've learned, want to go out and practice in the field, and of course, see results for themselves. This raises a fundamental question. What are the principles behind training that sticks? And what can we learn from training that lasts? Let me show you. Have you heard of the memory hole? It gets its name because much of what we learn through traditional training approaches is forgotten within the first few weeks. Research shows that in a lot of learning or classroom instruction, as much as 42% of what we've heard is forgotten after only 20 minutes. 66% can be lost after one day, and an amazing 75% within a week. Now, this is not really the fault of the learners. It occurs because we're human. It's simply the way our brains work. The good news is it does not have to be this way. It's a fact, but it's not a fatality. So why does some training stick? If you think about it, there is training that all of us have experienced that is long-lasting, that sticks. For example, once we've learned how to drive a car, we never forget. A golf swing or a tennis swing is something we learn when we take up the game, and we're able to replicate it over and over again in the same way. And the ability to ski down a mountain is a skill some of us learn when we're young, and it stays with us for a lifetime. Why can't business training be like this? We believe it can, and we've proven it. But to develop training that lasts, we first need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. What needs to change? So what's different about training that's long-lasting? Well, there's a number of things. It starts with providing training that offers a little theory, just enough theory, and lots of practice. In many traditional training programs, the typical teaching approach, participants spend roughly 80% of their time learning, which we now know may be quickly forgotten, and 20% applying. As a result, participants don't see how to apply this in real life. In the end, they become frustrated and eventually give up trying to apply the training. In an approach that's focused on training that lasts, however, these percentages are reversed. Some theory, but with a lot of practice and application in the classroom and all along the way. And there's something else that's very important. By spending most of the time training on the application and practice, participants leave the workshop with strong confidence and motivation to practice in the field. They literally can't wait to use what they've learned. The second factor that makes training stick is about the support you get as you implement your new skills. All too often, the training consists primarily of a single event. In the workshop, participants learn from the trainer, but afterwards the trainer is often not available to coach and support the participants as they apply the training in the field. In this sort of do-it-yourself approach or DIY approach, participants cannot access the support when they need it most, and they simply don't apply. What's needed is a way to engage with the participants after they've had the opportunity to apply the training. In our continuous support approach, participants have access to regular online coaching sessions with the Global Partners facilitators where they can discuss the barriers they encounter, they can share their successes, and they can receive advice on how to further apply the training to make it stick. This is one form of continuous support. Another is the third critical factor in making training stick, something we call peer collaboration. Often, training programs don't last because they rely too much on the individual to figure out for themselves how to apply the new skills and tools. There's no community to rely on for supporting new behaviors. In our sustaining approach, instead of the individual participants being left to figure out for themselves how best to apply the training, participants can rely on each other for support. They share best practices and learn from the experiences of each other. Ultimately, This creates a process that can be replicated again and again because it builds on community, collaboration, and support rather than instruction alone. Now, when participants are out in the field, they don't feel alone, but instead feel supported, thanks to peer collaboration and a network they can count on. So don't let most of your training go down the memory hole. Don't make the criteria for training how much participants are going to learn. Instead, make it training that will be remembered and applied. Training that sticks. At Global Partners, we focus on making training stick by firing up your people with extensive application they can't wait to try, by supporting your people in the field so they can overcome barriers and bad behaviors, and by enabling peer collaboration to build a sustainable support network. If you're interested to learn more about how Global Partners helps companies to make training that sticks, simply let us know.